My Happy Marriage, Volume 1. Akumi Agitoki. Prologue. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mio Saimori. Kneeling on the tatami floor, she bowed deeply with as much grace as she could muster, drawing in the familiar scent of fresh brushes mixed with the unfamiliar smell of his house. She knew all too well that she was unwelcome, but nonetheless she wanted to prove that she had good manners. As if unaware of her presence, the man who was to become her husband didn't so much as shoot her a glance, while he attended to some papers spread out on his writing desk. She remained prostrate on his floor, careful not to make the slightest movement as she waited his response. Being unacknowledged or ignored was something she had unfortunately gotten used to, and she didn't want to risk upsetting this man, whom she was meeting for the first time in a strange new place. "How much longer do you intend to prostrate yourself?" His low, impressed voice eventually broke the silence. Mio lifted his head. Mio lifted her head and met his gaze for the first time, before immediately bowing again. "Please forgive me. I wasn't asking for an apology." Her handsome fiancé sighed, before commanding her to sit up straight. Getting a better look at him this time, Mio saw her betrothed, Kyoka Kuro. Even though he was more stunning than she expected, it was even more stunning than expected. His porcelain skin was free from imperfections, and his pale blue eyes were framed by long ash blonde hair, so fine as to be almost transparent. Coupled with his slender physique, his fair appearance lent him an ephemeral beauty, shocking to see in a man. The tales she'd hear of his mercilessness, of his cruelty as a soldier who'd put his opponents to the sword without hesitation, seemed incongruous before his countenance. Yet, she thought, appearances can be deceiving. Mia knew firsthand that even those pleasing to the eye could harbor hearts filled with venom. He must have been one of those people. Why else would all of the previous brides have fled within 3 days of their marriage? But for Mio, there would be no turning back. She had neither home to return to, nor anyone she could rely on for help. Regardless of what hardships might await her here, she had no choice but to stay. Chapter 1 of Our Meeting and My Tears. Just as any other noble family, the Saimori household began their day with a leisurely breakfast in the living room of their sprawling traditional Japanese residence in the capital. Or at least it would have been leisurely if it were not for the shrill voice that pierced the fresh morning air. "What's this supposed to be?" Scalding hot look was splashed on Mio's face and chest. She didn't even whimper as she groveled on the floor. The beautiful younger woman holding the teacup raised her eyebrows in an outraged disbelief as her older sister, dressed in a threadbare serving girl's outfit, bowed in abject apology. As usual, the house staff present in the room averted their gazes. "The tea is so bitter. It's undrinkable." "I'm terribly sorry. Make me a fresh cup at once." Despite having brewed the tea exactly the same way as always, Mio demurely acknowledged her hostess's request as if she were her servant, and hurried to the kitchen, head hung low. Goodness me, she can't even make tea properly. Has she no shame? Indeed, she's such an embarrassment. Mia pretended she couldn't hear her half-sister and stepmother snickering at her reservedly as she left the room. One might think her father would intervene and stop them from mocking his daughter, but he simply continued his meal as if nothing had happened. He hadn't defended her once in the past several years, and by now Mio bore no hope that he ever would. My Happy Marriage, Volume 1, page 4, line 4. End of video.